All right, guys, welcome back. Ike, thank you so much for joining me here again as we dive a little bit deeper into reverse mortgage. I think last time we were going to really explore more of the possibilities around a purchase money reverse mortgage, right?
That's right. We were going to talk about how to use a reverse to purchase.
Okay, all right. Well, lead us the way here. Tell us a little bit about this awesome tool to purchase a new home.
Okay, so traditionally, if you wanted to do a reverse mortgage, you needed to live in the home for a while, and then you'd go through another process to get a reverse mortgage. But now they've kind of streamlined this. So if you want to do a reverse mortgage and purchase a new home at the same time, you can. You can sell your existing home to purchase a new home using the funds from the sale of that home, or you can use your liquid savings to go right into a reverse for purchase mortgage. So it's one process, one set of closing fees.
That's incredible. So you're saying that changed then, like they used to have to own the home first and then look at doing the reverse mortgage?
That's right. And then you'd have had to go through the mortgage process 2 times. Now it's
Gotcha.
just
All right.
once.
Well, I love that. Streamline is good. I like simple closing costs, one transaction. That's super fantastic. So walk us through maybe an example of what that would look like.
Yeah, so one example is, let's say you have a house today and you own it outright and it's worth $500,000 on the market and you're able to sell it for that. It's probably going to cost you about $50,000 to sell that house. So let's say you walk away from that sale with $450,000. Okay. Your buying power is double the amount of cash that you have. So in this scenario, if you have $450,000 in liquid cash, you can purchase up to $900,000 under the reverse mortgage. And that's approximately, typically you need about 50% of the purchase price.
Okay. Gosh. And so, with that said, if you have 450,000, 500 in net proceeds, maybe you want to keep some cash too. So keep some cash, put some cash into the purchase or buy up to that. That's incredible buying power. That's super, super huge for sure. What's that process look like, Ike, in order to make this happen, to purchase a home?
Good question. So the process, it's typically around 60 days, and it's going to start with the mandatory HUD counseling, right? You have to do reverse mortgage counseling, and you'll get a certificate from that. And I can provide you with a list of those HUD counselors. The next thing you're going to need, if you're selling your existing home, in order to have the money to buy the new home, you're going to need a fully executed sales contract before you apply for the reverse, meaning somebody's put a bid on your house and you have that contract. All right, once you have your counseling and you have your executed sales contract, you're going to apply with me for a reverse mortgage. At that point, I will submit it and you'll undergo a financial assessment by the lender, which is pretty typical in any mortgage scenario when it goes through underwriting. And then at that point, you'll get down the line, you'll have your closing day, you'll sign. And one unique feature of this is after you sign, you'll have a 3-day rescission period. And that 3 days is if you get cold feet, you decide you don't want to do this or something changes, you can actually walk away in that 3-day period.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. So about how long do you need to, like, from start to finish for the reverse mortgage process? Like, what's that look like?
You're looking at 60 days. I mean, I can imagine some scenarios that might be a little quicker or some that might take longer, but 60 days is a good timeline to keep in mind.
Okay. All right. That seems reasonable. How about property type? I can imagine getting some questions about property types. What types of homes can work for this situation?
Right, eligible properties. So there are a list of eligible properties, and here's a basic rundown of that. Single family residences, your average home that's standalone and detached. Manufactured homes.
Oh, that's huge.
I know, because there are a tremendous amount of manufactured homes in our market. So yes, those can be bought using a reverse for purchase. Multifamily 2 to 4 units, as long as you're living in one of those units, you can buy a multifamily and rent out the other ones under a reverse for purchase.
Wow.
Townhomes are eligible and FHA approved condos. So if you're looking for a condo because it's very low maintenance, those are approvable. They're eligible as long as they're FHA approved.
Okay. All right. Very, very cool. All right. What about any tips, tricks, anything different from a normal purchase mortgage to a reverse purchase, like from a cost perspective or contract perspective, anything that you can think of right there?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Seller restrictions. So the seller and the lender, to be clear, cannot incentivize the buyers for reverse mortgages. It's very regulated, so we can't really offer very much. The major difference that I came across is that owner's title policy is typically paid by the seller, but for the reverse mortgage, it must be paid by the buyer. That's
Okay.
the main difference.
Very neat. You know, I think that there's probably so many topics to keep going. I think we could talk for a very long time, but in a nutshell, I think that's a pretty great, summary of using a purchase or using a reverse mortgage to purchase a home. So you said it's about 50%, right?
Yep, approximately 50% is your buying power. So if you have 300,000 in cash, 600,000 your buying power. If you have 400,000, 800,000 your buying power. Yep.
Very cool. And then let's see here, what else? So site built, manufactured, multifamily, as long as you live in it, that's pretty huge.
Yep, townhomes and FHA approved condos.
All right. Well, I think there's some great information there. What would you like to talk about next in the conversations you've been having, Ike, with clients looking at reverse mortgage? Where do you think that we should go or dive a little bit deeper into on our next conversation?
I think we should go into frequently asked questions, because that's where we get a tremendous amount of people asking lots of different questions about reverse mortgages. And so there's a lot of curiosity about them. So maybe we'll just take a list of those questions and we'll tackle them in video form and put them out there for people to see.
All right. I like that. I think that's a great idea. Thank you so much for your time again. I totally appreciate you. And guys, again, Ike Grall, he is reverse mortgage specialist for the Riggs team. Anything you have, whether it's a question, a comment, or even something that you would like to know more of, please do not hesitate to let us know. We're here for you. Thank you so much, Ike.
I thank you, Danelle.